to the good days.
Welcome back to Sweet Yellow House. It's time for our Friday craft, but before we get started, I just wanted to let you know about our Patreon, and if you wanted to become a patron, you'll have access to all the insides and outs of Sweet Yellow House and a look behind the scenes. So get over there and check it out. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with this floral pack from the IOD, and I'm going to also start out with this square little see-through frame. And I picked this up, I think, at Home Goods or something, I'm not sure, but I'm going to take a portion of that transfer, and I'm just going to measure it so it fits inside of that frame, inside of the gold part of the outside of the frame, and I'm just going to measure it, and then I'm just going to cut off to what I need. So I want to make sure that none of that transfers hanging over on that the gold part. So I just bend back a piece of that backing, and that way I can place that down, and it won't shift on me. So I just get that one part set, and then I'm able to remove the backing and go from there. So now I'm just putting that transfer down with the transfer stick, and I'm just going through and making sure that everything's down flat, and with my hand I'm just kind of pushing everything down really good and burnishing it. So there I'm just kind of wiping off anything that may have gotten on that gold part of the frame. Alright, once I got that down good, like I said, I'm just making sure that I don't have any pieces that are lifted, and I put that aside. So I'm going to grab this amazing casting resin, because we all know how much I love to use this stuff so much. And I'm going to grab several of my molds, and what I'm really looking for is some floral elements that I can use. And I'm just gonna grab my my resin and make some of the molds that I want. Here's a tip. I didn't know this, but if you have resin that is older, like older pieces, or maybe something that hasn't set up completely flat, you can heat that up with your heat gun and it becomes pliable again, so you don't have to throw those things away. So let's get back to it. So I made the castings that I wanted, but I also went into my stash and I grabbed some older castings, or maybe some pieces that I had cut off, and that I had from previous projects and stuff like that, and I just grabbed all that I felt like applied to this. So and I arranged those that look pleasing to me, and then I grabbed my gilding wax and I put my gloves on, and I'm just going to use the technique I showed in my last video of using your gloved hands to rub that on. I did a couple of those, and then I realized that this was going nowhere fast, and I just didn't really like the way that it looked. It looked, although the gold was beautiful, it just looked flat. There was no, like, it didn't pop for me. So I grabbed all of my castings and I took them outside, and I used this bare black matte spray paint, and I spray painted them all. So I let them dry, and then I went back to my gilding wax and put my gloves back on, and I just went through and I skimmed the top of those. So I was a little heavy-handed with putting the gold on, but I just made sure that I skimmed the top of it. I didn't really go down into those little crevices of the castings, because I didn't want to cover that black up. I really wanted that black to still show through. Once I started doing that, I realized that they actually did look like metal, like they were casted from metal, and very pretty. I was pleasantly surprised at the look that came from that. So I went ahead and did all of my castings the same way, just going through and making sure that I was happy with everything, and I set those aside. So I went back and I replaced everything on my frame so that I knew exactly where I was going to put it, and I grabbed my Gorilla Glue, the clear one, and I put some in a little cup, and I used a paintbrush to put that on. My reasoning behind this is because I didn't want glue all over the place. I wanted to make sure that the glue really stayed behind those castings and wasn't leaking and messy everywhere. So I was very careful with that because like I said, I didn't want that glue to get everywhere. So stay till the end because I have pictures how I styled this. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you spending your time with me, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you know anyone that would like these kind of videos, do me a favor and share. So, and we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
It's gonna hurt, but not as much as this.